Come on, send the dog!
Tonight, as the police in Manchester send in the dogs, the fight against car crime,
how they've survived this crash, I have no idea.
the war against terror,
Consequences of missing or doing something wrong would be disastrous.
the pressure mounts, explosive situations,
I've got a sign of
All right, mate, all right.
cleaning up the streets, with no margin for error.
Get him down!
It's midnight, and the Greater Manchester Police Dog Unit is hard at work.
We've had about 4 calls for this domestic.
Headquarters has received a call from a woman who says a man is threatening her.
Next we call to a male who's attacking a female, and the second report just come in saying the male is strangling a female on the floor as we speak.
German Shepherd Leo is 6 years old. His handler for the past 4 years has been PC John Rogers. Leo has a good nose for trouble. Even from the back of the dog van, he can always tell when he's on his way to a job.
It's like a switch. You put the blue lights or the sirens or even increase your speed, the dog senses what's going on. He knows because you can see him in the back of the van. Sometimes he'll bark, sometimes he'll whine, sometimes he'll spin around in his cage. He's just anticipating what's going to go on.
Other officers are already at the scene. The woman is unharmed, but now the man has barricaded himself inside a house and refuses to come out.
Come on, mate, let's have a talk. Listen, mate.
I've got a shoe and everything.
No, listen, mate.
Just now, yeah.
Just come to the front door. Just come to the front door and we'll have a chat. Just come to the front door, mate. Just nice and... No, listen, mate.
Don't deserve it,
No, the dogs don't. I don't want to hurt your dogs, right? So you don't hurt, right? So do us a favour. Come to the front door, right? Open the door, turn round, and we'll have a chat with you. All right? What's your name, bud?
I've got a sign of
All right, mate. All right. He threatened he had a sawn-off shotgun in the loft, and he threatened he had a 9mm. Jason.
I've seen 9mm as well. I'll shoot you up, mate. You don't come to my door.
Jason, do us a favour.
You could tell he was intoxicated, you could tell he was agitated, and you could tell he was quite threatening.
Yeah, he's saying he's got a shotgun in the loft and he's going to shoot us all. Can we get ARV down here with taser at least? I've got him talking at the window, and if we can get him taser at the window, we can detain him.
An ARV is an armed response vehicle. This is as serious as it gets.
What are you starting off for?
Which percentage?
Mate, I've got stuff. And a pit bull. Watch this. I'll get the deal.
Until backup arrives, Leo and PC Rogers are in the firing line.
Come here, pal.
20 miles away, another dog team are being sent to investigate a robbery.
Yeah, I'm en route.
The closest dog unit is Riley and his handler PC Gareth Greaves.
We've had a spate of personal robberies tonight at knife point. 2 females and a male offender have been going around the division committing robberies on single lone females.
The suspects heard the police sirens and they're on the run. Riley's expert nose is needed to sniff out their trail and try and find them. 4-year-old Riley is a German Shepherd. The police use them as general purpose dogs. When he started working with PC Greaves 4 years ago, they were both new to the unit. He's PC Greaves' first police dog.
They say your dog takes on your personality, so if I was going to explain Riley, I'd say he's cocky, confident, and not scared of anything.
The other officers at the scene suspect the robbers could be hiding in the gardens of a council housing estate. The fastest way to find them is with Riley. Riley's nose is 10 times more powerful than a human's, and it's taking him and PC Greaves on a backyard assault course.
Stay. Riley.
Whenever you come up to an obstacle and you got to put your dog over, you always look first. If you can't get over, you ain't going to send your dog over because you've got to back him up at the end of the day. So you always check to see if it's safe.
Roger.
Stay. Stay.
No.
Riley is definitely onto a track.
Just get these footprints on there. Right, keep going down, mate, the way I went. They're going over gardens, mate. I've just found fresh footprints. Someone could just look at Riley and they'd just see a dog running around. Like, what's he doing? He's just running around. But you notice other things, little telltale signs like, oh, his tail's just gone up, his heckles have come up, he's turned sharply.
As Riley and PC Greaves follow the telltale signs, other officers are surrounding the area to make sure no one gets away. That is, if any of the robbers are still around.
What we've got here is like it's a face mask, which you can disguise as a hat. If you can imagine, you put that on your face, you pretty much got everything covered. Now, it's been raining tonight. This article is bone dry, and when we talk about scent, Riley's picked that up himself. He's found that on his own. I'm just tracking, and he's laid down next to a garden wall, and when I've investigated, there it is. Good lad.
There's more good news. A woman has been found in a nearby road. She's been arrested and will be questioned in the local police station. The bad news is, there's no sign of anyone else.
It's a good result, really. Although Riley hasn't detained the offenders, he's been a right integral part in relation to this arrest, and it's a cracking find. I'm really chuffed with him, and he's done really well. Go on, cheeky. When I get him back to the van, give him a bit of a fuss and a cuddle. And he's done me proud, bless him. And he's worked hard. Ain't your son?
Come here, pal.
But while Riley relaxes, back in Salford, the night shift siege is going from bad to worse for German Shepherd Leo and his handler PC Rogers. The drunken gunman who threatened the pair still won't surrender.
The situation could have been nasty because of the threats he made to me involving the firearm, threatening to shoot me, etc. That's why I requested the armed response vehicles, because I didn't know whether they had a gun or not.
Until the armed police arrive, it's up to Leo and PC Rogers to make sure the man isn't a threat to anyone else.
Back over by the wall. Can somebody keep an eyeball on the front of the house?
They'll both have to be on their guard. Coming up, the search for bombs.
If you're on a threat search, you don't want to find. You really don't.
And Riley's nose is at it again. In Salford, the siege has reached stalemate. A man has barricaded himself into a house. He says he's armed and has threatened to shoot. German Shepherd Leo and his handler PC Rogers can't let him walk away.
Listen, bud.
Shoot everything off.
Listen, bud.
Shut off the shot, but
Listen,
I'm
bud.
not hurt the illustration.
No, listen.
Ever.
He don't want to hurt you, and we don't want to hurt you. Right, so come front, let's talk about it. But when somebody comes right out in front of you and you don't know if they've got the gun on them, you've got to deal with it.
So the male is outside, see?
I've got a shotgun here.
Well-
Hey, I'm not lying to you. Don't my name's on done.
This is the first time the man has been to the front door. PC Rogers still doesn't know if he's really armed.
I could only see one of his hands, and I didn't know what was behind his back. And if he's in this agitated state, sometimes they don't know what they're doing. No, Jack, come out, talk.
The armed response backup is still 5 minutes away. Leo and PC Rogers only have a can of CS spray. It's not only the man who's caught the spray.
Get down on the ground! Get down on the ground! Put your arms on your back now! Do it, Tom! Get down on your back! Let's go, mate. You're not supposed to suspicious threats to kill. Also, you're not supposed to suspiciously possession of a firearm. You don't have to say anything, mate. You don't make something to question you later in the line of court if you do send me the evidence to understand.
Can't see.
Right.
Had I not taken that action there and then, it could have gone on for hours. You have to deal with it as you see, and that's why we're in the job we're in. We do these things on a daily basis. You make decisions, and that's why we're put in this position of authority to do it.
Luckily for Leo, CS spray doesn't affect dogs. It's not the same for PC Rogers.
So I had to gas him, but move into the cloud of gas at the same time. Obviously, you're going to get the full blast of it, but at the end of the day, we had to get him. We had to get him in the circumstances, and the opportunity arose. I had to take it. So just got to suffer the consequences sometimes. But it's probably with CS, you can't rub your eyes or anything. You just got to like spit it out and get some breeze past your eye to get rid of it, because it's just like a crystal. So I'll be all right. But the good thing is, he's not hurt. That's the main thing. He's not hurt. He got a good job. Hey, pal.
It turns out the man wasn't armed after all. But no one was to know that.
He seemed to start having a rapport with me. If you can get a rapport and talk somebody out, it's a lot better than having to do something like that. At the end of the day, he was very up and down in his emotions, which shows a sign of instability. The dog was, to a certain extent, a distraction technique, but if then he'd started attacking me, the dog would defend me. It was a good result, at the end of the day, good result. He's a good boy.
Leo is just one of 55 highly trained canines that make up Greater Manchester Police's dog unit. Their base is Charlton, to the south of the city. They're a valuable tool in the war against drugs and guns, chasing down and hunting criminals.
On the floor now! Get on the floor!
And solving crimes, even murders. The dog unit training is some of the best in the world. This might look like any normal residential area, but this is a street with a difference. Not Coronation Street, but it's just as unreal. It's a replica road, and it's a secret training venue used by the Greater Manchester Police.
That's 75 grams of C4 plastic explosive gone in there.
Examiner Martin Almond is hiding explosives. He's testing some of the GMP's finest. Explosive search dogs have one of the most dangerous jobs in any police force.
Plastic explosives.
With lives potentially at risk every time they're sent in to work. It's also one of the most disciplined.
We're using 75 grams of TNT.
Dogs and handlers are tested twice a year. If they fail, their license can be revoked, and often is.
So we're going to set up a series of exercises, practical searches, and they can demonstrate to me their abilities. So we'll put various explosives, that's some Semtex going under there.
Up for examination today is handler PC Rob Carlin and Springer Spaniel Colin.
Good boy.
4-year-old Colin was bred for the job by the GMP. He's homegrown. Springer Spaniels are expert sniffer dogs with natural tracking ability and very sensitive noses. And when you're looking for bombs, they have to be right every time.
You simply cannot afford to do anything wrong, because there is, the consequences of missing or doing something wrong would be disastrous.
We're doing a clearance search in the street and the houses, everywhere. Everywhere's in the plan.
Quick, go! Good boy. What's this?
Today is the finale of a week-long unit relicensing program. The pressure is on to see if Colin and PC Carlin are good enough to stay in the unit.
Yeah, have you got the find? That grid with a bomb in it?
They're all trained on a passive indication, which is when they find it, they get to the source and they just freeze. You can't have the dog interfering with a hide. Obviously, if it was a bomb and the dog interfered with it or pawed at it, tried to bite it, it could set a bomb off doing that.
For his good work, Colin is rewarded with his favourite toy.
Good boy! Clever lad, Carl.
To him, looking for bombs is simply a game. Whether it's in a controlled search like this, or a real bomb threat. Knowing he'll get his toy is his only incentive. But playtime is over. It's back to the work and the examiner.
As you get to know the dog more and the bond develops, you get to read the dog better. And I'll see the dog's demeanour change. He'll start searching differently, he'll display different characteristics, so I'll know he's getting into a scent pattern. And then it's just for you and the dog to work as a team to try and locate the source of the scent.
The final explosives are hidden in this room.
Wait, pal.
Both for Colin and for PC Carlin, it's the moment of truth.
It is pressure, because if you get anything wrong on the training day or the dog does something wrong, you could get your licence withdrawn then.
Getting it right is Colin's job.
You got it on this corner at the bottom of the court. Well,
It's spot on.
After a week of pressure, Colin gets his ball. He's made the grade. He and PC Carlin will be back with the unit next week, working with Manchester's other specialist dogs.
good boy. Come here, pal.
And continually amazing their handlers.
They're very good. I almost think we're not touching on the surface of what these things are capable of. They're incredibly clever.
As Colin and PC Carlin celebrate, another member of the dog squad is also appreciating how good his canine cop life is. PC Rogers has fully recovered from his brush with the CS spray.
Hey, buddy.
He's been a dog handler for 12 years. Leo is his 4th police dog and possibly the best of the bunch.
He's brilliant. He's one of the nicest dogs I've ever worked because he gives you so much back. Leo is a dog that works because he wants to work. It's all a big game to him and he enjoys it. And his temperament is superb.
All police dogs need regular breaks, downtime. For PC Rogers, Leo's welfare always comes first. And that means stretching his especially long legs.
You can see, I mean, you see the size of him, and I'm 6 foot and like he's stood up there, so you can see the size of him. Hey pal, me? But you can have rough and tumbles, you can fight with him, play with him and then mess about like this. He just wants to be with you, just wants to play with you. Yeah. Hey pal, come play.
Being a dog handler is a 24-hour job. PC Rogers and Leo spend virtually every waking hour together.
Like you have to have a bond with the dog. If you don't have a bond with the dog won't work for you. Or if he does work for you, it won't work to his or your potential as a team. So it's very much a relationship type thing. Massive bond between me and him. Spend more time with him than I do with the wife.
Go on him. What's there?
Another dog team who spend most of their time together is German Shepherd Riley and PC Greaves. They haven't got time for play. They've been called to a suspected burglary. A man has been seen by police trying to break into a club. As soon as he saw the officers, he made a run for it. PC Greaves is still 2 miles away.
Are you going to track from the pub downwards?
I am, mate. I'm going to try, pal. So if people just try and stay in the area, not wander around all over the track, it'll give me the best option for my dog.
When offenders run, they cannot help but leave behind an invisible trail. With every step, the ground below is disturbed. Even the slightest movement leaves a scent and a clear track that the dogs can follow.
The track is hard, it's on concrete, and when it's raining it makes it harder for the dogs because the scent gets washed away and dissipated quite quickly, but hopefully I'll get in there pretty quick and he can do his thing for me.
The barrier is not what PC Greaves wanted to see. But at least there's a mounted policeman who saw which way the man went.
Down there where the bottom is, then they've gone left. Right, I'll pick it up from the bottom there. There, pal.
Information like this is a bonus for Riley, giving him a direction to search. And he doesn't want to hang around.
Easy. I can feel him tensing up from his body language. But I'm putting this on just to key him in a bit. It's concrete, it's been raining, so I need him just to concentrate and really get his head in gear so he knows what he's doing.
Riley's harness is a trigger. As soon as it goes on, he knows to get on with it.
He identified a route taken quickly, and you know it's a route taken by the people who've left that club because it's off the beaten track, it's not the streets, it's not someone walking on with a shopping.
Riley is keeping his nose to the ground while pulling PC Greaves along at 12 miles an hour.
Tracking is an extremely physical and mental for the dog. It's a hard thing for him to do. It takes a lot out of him. Nice, then he lost the track slightly, and then it was like, boom, I'm back on it.
Riley's definitely onto something. PC Greaves just hopes it's the burglars he's after. Manchester is Britain's second largest city. 2.5 million people live here. It has always been a prime target for terrorists, ever since the IRA blew up the city centre 13 years ago. The damage has been fixed, but not the fear. Now, every time VIPs visit Manchester, alarm bells ring and they send in the bomb dogs. Today, a mystery VIP is visiting the city and the town hall.
Call this way.
Springer Spaniel Colin and PC Carlin have got the job. This time it isn't a training exercise or a fake street. This is for real.
There is that pressure of getting it right. But if you start getting too nervous and behaving differently, the dogs can sense it. He's the one that's got to find it, so you've got to get him working properly, which means you being calm and doing it as if you're on a normal, relaxed training day, if you like.
PC Carlin remembers well the devastation caused by the IRA truck bomb. 200 people were hurt and the entire city centre had to be evacuated. In 2009, Manchester sniffer dogs are at the forefront of the anti-terrorist campaign. And Colin is it today.
These are sort of things you've got to look for more in old buildings. Potential hides here. Come here, pal. Call. Good boy. Yeah. This one. Come here. Come.
If you're on a threat search, you don't want to find. You really don't. Whereas with the other dogs, all you want to do is find all the time. But you don't really want an indication off your Explo dog, because it's time to get out then.
That's right.
PC Carlin knows that feeling well. He's found explosives before.
This way again. Come here. Come. Good boy.
I have an indication which did require evacuating several homes and turning out the bomb disposal, and it's quite a big call to make, and obviously when you get that indication it is worrying.
But today, Colin isn't giving that indication. It means the town hall is clear, safe for the mystery VIP.
It is a big building, quite difficult to search, and with a dog you can do an area of that size in a short period of time. You've got to go and sign it off now that you've searched it, and you're happy that this is clear. Good boy.
The mystery VIP is also visiting another venue in Manchester. It needs to be checked out too. Coming up.
Get on the floor. Stay on the floor.
Riley and PC Greaves get stuck in.
Ready for the dog! Come on, let's run the dog!
While PC Rogers and Leo flush them out. In northern Manchester, the hunt is still on for the burglar who broke into a club before running off. Riley and PC Greaves have been tracking what they hope is the fugitive scent for 40 minutes, and Riley is showing no signs of slowing down. They've covered at least 3 miles so far.
Riley began to quicken his pace and he was pulling at the line a lot more, and I'm on something here. Why don't you?
But there's a problem. The fence is just too high for either Riley or PC Greaves.
He's like up at the fence, he wants to get over here. But obviously he's trying to figure a way in. Definitely getting something on the other side of that fence there. There's just a hole in the fence here. I found a way in. Come here, pal. Actually, so you know, he's brought me up to the, I think it's the old railway line. I'm not sure where it goes. What normal person walks along a railway line in the middle of the afternoon? Nobody. And in the distance, I saw a lad, and it was like, that's him. And you're like, that's him. I think I've just sighted him. And I've just seen a male in the distance, trying to get off the track. Stand by.
It's too dangerous to let Riley off the lead near a tram line. But for their suspect, the station is the perfect escape route.
This lad's going to jump on a tram, mate. There's a tram just arriving now, I can't stop it. I'll be going back into Manchester.
Have you got any description of him, mate?
Yeah, the description was late 30s, all black tracksuit with a hood, quite scruffy looking, about 6 foot tall.
That's understood.
In the distance, I've clocked the lad with tracking. He's seen me and Riley, and he's gone over the railway line. And it shows you what luck is. There's a tram arrived just as he's got here, and he's jumped on the tram and gutted. I'm not allowed on the tram with me dog.
10 miles away, Manchester sniffer dogs are still looking for bombs. The mystery VIP is soon to arrive, and this high school has yet to be searched. This time it isn't Colin. PC Carlin has worked him long enough, and the Spaniel's nose needs a break.
The second that you think any nasal fatigue is starting, you've got to stop the dog. Because otherwise, if you're going into a room or searching a building with a dog that has got nasal fatigue, you've got the risk of missing something then.
The first danger point is where the VIP will be dropped off, the school car park.
Then after he's cleared this area, I'll be going in and searching the inside of the school, which will then be sealed prior to them coming in. Very few people know who's coming, even the fact that they're coming at all, until the morning, basically. I mean, the staff in there at the moment still aren't aware of who's coming, so it has to be kept that way, just for security, basically. Dog's shown a lot of interest in this dustbin, so what we're going to do now is run another dog over it.
The other dog is Colin, with his refreshed nose ready for a second opinion.
Good boy. Colin's not shown any interest in that area, so the search team's going to take it apart now as a result of that. If we'd had 2 indications, we'd have perhaps been dealing with it differently. But the search team are looking at it now.
The big worry now is that the classrooms still haven't been given the all-clear. But Colin and PC Carlin are fast workers. Just as well, the mystery VIP has arrived. Home Secretary Jackie Smith, the Minister with responsibility for police and their dogs.
You've got to trust the dog, you've got to trust your search system, the way you've done it. And you do have to sign it off at the end to say that, you know, you've searched it and there are no devices hidden in there. You know, initially when you start on the Explo side, you'd be watching the news at night, thinking, I hope I did it properly. And then when there's nothing happens on the news, then you know you're okay.
In East Manchester, it's been snowing. It's come down thick and fast, making the roads treacherous. Riley and PC Greaves are in the thick of it. They've spotted a van being driven far too fast, going in the opposite direction. PC Greaves has moved quickly, but not as fast as the van driver. He's now at top speed and almost out of sight.
X-ray Delta 2, too urgent. You try and stop it, you flash your lights at it, and it quickly becomes apparent this person's not going to stop.
Got a vehicle failing to stop, mate. Hazelhurst Road, Ashton Underline.
As PC Greaves handles the pursuit, Riley is getting ready for action.
The left onto Buxton Avenue.
Eventually hit a road full of ice, anchored on its brakes, and of course it wasn't stopping. He was driving well out of his limits, and basically he just couldn't handle that vehicle. He lost control of it, it mounted the curb, and more luck than anything, it came to a stop without hitting anything.
Excessive speed, mate, stand by. Riley, stay. Stay.
Riley isn't happy, sitting things out.
So, can we have some vehicle details, please?
Vehicle's stopped, mate. I'll get you straight in a minute. Give me your keys, mate. Do not move, right?
I'm faced with 16 stone of angry man, wondering why I've stopped him, and then it quickly became apparent that he'd had a drink, a heavy drink.
Can you any further, G? Are you okay?
I'm alright, mate. Don't be smoking, pal.
Why not?
Because I'm telling you to, mate. Put your cig out, mate. Put your cig out now. I'm telling you, put your cig out. You got your last chance, mate. Put your cig out. Put your cig out. I've got to get the upper hand straight away, and it was quite clear to me what I had to do. He had to get removed out of that vehicle where he had the upper hand. He was sat way above me. He could have done anything to me. Get on the floor. Stay on the floor. Now. Do you understand me? Right? You're under arrest, mate. Section 4, Road Traffic Act. Stay on the floor or the dog is coming out of the van. Do you understand that? Shut up.
Section 4 of the Road Traffic Act relates to drunk drivers and immediate arrest. PC Greaves now has a dilemma. He can't get Riley out of his van without letting go of the driver and risking an escape or another fight. Strangely, it's not only PC Greaves who wants Riley on the street. His prisoner does too.
No, you don't want me to let the dog out, mate, trust me. You want what? You won't do nothing to him, mate. If I start struggling with people, I can look back and Riley will be all over the front seat of the van, headbutting the window, because he wants to come and help me. You can see he wants to get out. It's not a case of he wants to come out and bite someone. He wants to come and help me. I'm part of his pack. Get on the floor, relax now. Lie flat on your belly. Now. Do you understand me? Lie flat.
And PC Greaves' troubles are not over yet.
Has someone requested a van for me, please, mate?
Just not heard anything about it. Where's it required?
He has already called for a backup and a van to take his prisoner away. The sudden snowstorm has tied up all police units in the area. Greaves and his prisoner will have to wait in the cold, but at least Riley's warm. The snow hasn't yet reached Rochdale in North Manchester. A man is trying to force his way into a warehouse through the front gates, right under the lens of a security camera, setting off a silent alarm and bringing in the dogs. PC Rogers and his Alsatian Leo are on the way.
Just to give you a progress check, I'm just going past Birch now. Patrols have responded to an alarm at a prisoner's premises. When they've got there, literally two minutes after the alarm came in, they believe somebody's still inside.
The warehouse is huge. Inside are electrical goods, and that's probably what the thieves are after. The building is a rabbit warren full of hiding places and dangerous, unless you are Leo.
Hey, son of the dog! Come out, son of the dog! Last warning, come out, son of the dog!
You shout a challenge to say to anybody inside the building, look, this is the police with a dog. Come out, don't be stupid.
Where is he? Dog's been released, remain still and do not attempt to escape.
And it's giving more than one opportunity for somebody inside to say, yeah, okay, I've broken here, the dog's going to find me, I'll give myself up and not risk any further consequences that might happen.
No one's giving themselves up tonight. Leo will just have to keep looking. On the snowy streets of East Manchester, PC Greaves is still waiting for a van to take his abusive drunk driver away. And Riley is still in the driving seat.
You can't hear your radio, you can't hear anything else, but you can hear your dog. It's a nice feeling, like knowing that there's something there watching over you and looking after you. Wouldn't you?
I'll see you again.
Even with the handcuffs on, the drunken driver isn't giving in or keeping quiet.
Understand that?
I've got cuffs on. You twist them again.
Relax.
At long last, backups arrived.
Come on, fella, we'll get you in this van.
How are you? Whoa, what?
Apparently making a way around
Thank you, lads. But you?
Poor dog. What's to kill him? The main thing is, we've stopped him. He hasn't hurt anyone. He hasn't had a bump. He's under arrest. He's bothered. We get put over a lot of that. He was calling out names under the sun and never heard him before, bless.
In Rochdale, the hunt for the man who broke into the electrical warehouse continues. Police have surrounded the building, so there's no way out for anyone inside. Leo's doing the searching, as well as looking out for PC Rogers.
Your safety is of primary concern, and your safety of your dog. You are aware of what you could be facing inside. You've just got to do it in a systematic manner and know that if you did have a problem, the dog's going to be there to protect you.
One thing you've got to be careful is obviously searching a building like this, it's all load of hazards for the dog. Obviously can fall off the edges, there's loads of loose wire. Up here I'm just making sure I'm working on the lead so we don't do himself any injury. Left one. Quick.
The dog winded this air sense of a human. So there were certain areas where the dog paid particular attention to, and other areas where I knew by reading the dog's demeanour there was absolutely nobody there and nobody been there.
Oh, pal.
You make a mental note of where you go in, where you've been, where you haven't been, and make sure you cover all the areas until you get to the end of the building line and right to the end of the search. I never say it's clear until I got to that point.
Thanks for your assistance. The building appears clear.
Roger, John. Thanks for that.
Leo might have drawn a blank, but PC Rogers is convinced there was once someone inside.
It's always frustrating when you miss somebody by a few minutes. It is frustrating and gutting, but he did what he was trained to do. He was saying, look, they have been here, Dad, but they're not here anymore.
In Manchester, the dog squad doesn't just wait to be called out or sent to crimes already in progress. By night, their teams join the thin blue line patrolling the city streets, looking for trouble. Sometimes they find it when they least expect it. Riley and PC Greaves are on the Mancunian Way, just outside the city centre. It's 3 in the morning.
There's a Vauxhall Vectra on its roof, crashed, and you think no one could survive that crash, they're dead. And that's what you've got to face with, and that's when it becomes, you're not a dog handler then, you're a police officer. You've still got to do your job.
Doing your job means reporting the crash and trying to find out who was in the car and what's happened to them.
They'd crashed at a very, very fast speed, but they'd run away. And then I know I can't do anything about that, so it's down to my mate. So Riley was called on again. And he quickly identified a strong truck. It was like frantic pace then.
PC Greaves has no idea how many people were in the car. He does know he stands a good chance of finding them with Riley on the charge.
9-9 is still raked lane, Southern Avenue.
Away from the city centre, the Manchester police helicopter is tracking a suspected stolen BMW which might have armed men on board.
9-9, it's approaching the junction, Agecroft Road, it's a left Agecroft Road.
It's vital that the occupants don't know the police are onto them. PC John Rogers and Alsatian Leo are also in the area.
We've got a vehicle that's believed to have a firearm on board. The helicopter's above it as we speak, and because of the threat of a firearm possibly, they're going to try and get a firearms team down to the vicinity where the vehicle is. So we're just making our way to see if we can assist.
The helicopter has a heat-seeking camera with a sliding scale from black for cold to white for hot. It identifies 4 people getting out of the car. One of them does a runner, but the helicopter sticks for now with the other 3.
It's going to be King Robbery Avenue at the moment.
X-ray Delta, you need to about turn. Where you were stopped at that junction, it's around the corner there.
We work very closely with the helicopter. They can cover big areas, and if they find anything, they can direct us in.
We've got a group of 3 coming out of the new estate onto Agecroft Road from a pathway.
Indy 99 have got 3 males who've walked from this vehicle. They're trying to radio to the officers on the ground.
You've got 2 patrols that stop nearby now.
There's still one outstanding, so...
Stop by.
With 3 in custody, it's time to try and find the one who ran off. PC Rogers and Leo are still a mile away.
Thanks for Delta 22, I'll be there in 2 minutes.
Coming up, can Leo find his car thief? And will Riley and PC Greaves get more than they bargained for? In the centre of Manchester, German Shepherd Riley is still after the driver of the car which lies smashed to bits on the Mancunian Way. He's still taking PC Greaves along for the ride.
When you've got them on the end of the lead and they set off at a frantic pace, it is hard work to keep up with them. It's 32 kilograms of pure power. The dog's stronger than me, He's immensely strong for a small animal. The power that they produce is unbelievable. It took me a good 200-metre dash round a corner, and there they were, this young man and young woman. I'm under no illusion. If I didn't have Riley, he wouldn't have stopped running, the lad. He didn't want to stay at the scene of the crash. The dog being there stops people in the tracks, and they think, I'm going to have to stop here because I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that dog's going to catch me.
The woman was a passenger in the car. She's asthmatic, or at least she appears to be. PC Greaves can't take the chance. He needs to get medical assistance fast, or she could have a full-blown asthma attack, collapse, and even die. He can't let go of Riley to help, but his main suspect has an inhaler. The woman is now in good hands. The main suspect is under arrest.
Stay there.
Riley is in the arms of PC Greaves. There's too much glass on the road.
The bend where it's come round, it's quite a nasty bend off the Mancunian Way. Looking at the carnage that the car is, I can only guess that he's come round that bend in excess of about 80 to 90 mile an hour. He's lost control and he's hit the barriers. He's took out 4 barriers, a traffic sign, and then he's managed to flip his car and land on its roof. How they've survived this crash, I have no idea, but that's the luck of the draw. If that was you or me, we'd be 6 foot under now.
Manchester Police Helicopter India 99 is 600 feet up, still working with Leo and PC Rogers as they hunt for the suspect who ran off from the stolen BMW.
The helicopter had a heat source which showed where the offender or the driver of the vehicle had gone to, who we thought, again, potentially might have had a firearm.
It's a Delta 8266 India 99 on 311. I'm at your 7 o'clock now, very low. No, just go back side of it, mate.
Right, so your next one, please, John.
No, quick.
Right, slow down, John. You've got a driver to your right. I believe he's in a wheelie bin on your side of that gable end.
A wheelie bin is a favourite hiding place for fugitives.
When the helicopter told me where the wheelie bin was, because their commentary was so direct, I knew exactly where it was. Even before I put my head over the fence, I knew where it was.
Trouble is, the fence is too high.
How can you get through there, mate?
As you look at the gable end, John, go down the right-hand side of the house.
Right.
Well, don't go too far, mate. You're, that occupier that you were talking to, it is to the rear of his house, but it's on the opposite corner, the back corner of the gable end. To the back of that shed, on the other side of the fence.
The Sky Cops might be sure they know where the man is, but it's down to PC Rogers and Leo to detain him.
Police for the dog. Come out. Come out, or I'll send the dog. Right. Right. Put your hands up. Right. Hands up in the air. Right. Have you got anything on you shouldn't have? No. Right. Have you got anything on you shouldn't have?
Because you're potentially dealing with a firearm, again, you can't take chances, you can't take risks, and that's why the male was detained quite swiftly.
Right, seriously? Right, put your hands up in the air. Right? So face the floor. Face the floor. Face the floor. Put your hands on your head. Put your hands on your head. Right. If you move, bitch, you're gonna get bit, okay?
I instructed him to show me his hands, etc., because if you can see his hands, he's not got anything in his hands, then that's half the battle won.
Right, stand up and face the wall. Stand up and face the wall. Right, at this stage, right, You're locked up on suspicion of theft of that motor vehicle, okay? You don't have to say anything, we may have defence going with something which you later rely on the court. If you do, send me a given evidence, understand? Right, I'll just...
The man wasn't carrying a gun, which is good news for Leo and PC Rogers, as is the arrest.
Whenever you get a result with your dog, because it shows that the partnership's working and it shows what a valuable resource the dog is, it's good. It's a good feeling.
The man need not have hidden in the wheelie bin. He hadn't stolen the car. He was driving without a licence and insurance, for which he was convicted.